Hello. Hi. I don't know how loud that is right there, but hi. So, if you notice some red and a puffy ear today, I'm itchy today. I got into something over the weekend and made me a little itchy, so I'm trying not to itch. Yeah, I was cutting weeds and something just didn't agree with me. So, yeah, but I'm using this guy again because everybody says that the wireless one cuts in and out, goes up and down. So hopefully this one's not so bad. We'll see how that goes. Thinking that I will end up 3D printing some kind of a mount for it that I can put up here, and then I can bring it out off to the side when I'm talking at the desk, and then when I'm working I can kind of swing it over this way so it's more over here. So that's the plan. But anyway, today, at the request of Mr. Mitch, or at the suggestion of Mr. Mitch, these are the units he told me to buy to put in here for low voltage and over voltage protection on the batteries. Not that I'll actually be charging the unit that way. That's what battery charger is for. But these guys, I put a link down in the description. So if anybody wants to get a set of these, it is a 2-pack. But on here it says Hazy XY M0 or M609. And according to the description on it, it is a 12 to 36 volt, basically the under voltage protection for the battery, so that I understand, or my assumption is, you use the buttons here to set your cutoff voltage, and then when it gets to that voltage it will cut off that battery so you don't kill it. So basically 2 of these guys plugged into the unit, 1 for each battery, and then as the battery gets low it'll cut one off, and then my understanding is then the other battery, you'll power off one battery, power on the other, or it'll cut one battery off and then the other battery should continue, so you can swap out and keep going. It's my understanding with the way Mr. Mitch had explained it. So we're going to get these guys installed, and then yeah, see how they do. I don't know much more about it than that. So to any one person that is watching, hi, how are you? If you don't know who I am, if you're just magically popped across the channel, I'm Dan. I normally don't stream at this time, but I'm impatient, so I have goodies and I wanted to stream. So you can see me back there talking to myself. See right here? See, look. Now it's like Inception. I'm pointing at myself there, who's pointing at myself there, who's continuously pointing all the way down to infinity. But yeah, so we got these units in. That's what it looks like. Again, there's a link down in the description to these if you want to help out the channel. It's an affiliate link. And there you go. That is the info on it. So we got to flip the backpack on its back. So we got to first power it off, which until I get, what I need for power, which is batteries. Ow, my chin itches, sorry. Until I get the batteries that I need and a charger for them, it is still powered up. Good old XT60 connector. And then this guy, we'll go ahead and power off for the moment. And for the sake of not damaging anything or dropping this and causing damage, we're going to move this up out of the way. And we're going to lay this guy on its back. Yes, I know there's filament on it, but the way I'm laying it, it shouldn't affect it. There we go. Hopefully when I flip to the other camera, 3D Medic Vince, good to see you. Hope you're doing well, good sir. Staying out of trouble, staying out of jail, all that good stuff. So, Mr. Vince and just push print. What's up, guys? Like I was saying before you guys started chatting, you notice some redness on the face, like this side here and this puffy earlobe, and like if you see me itching or scratching, I cut some weeds this weekend, got into something, and I've been very itchy. So I'm trying not to itch, but Like they say, it's always easier not to than it, or easier to say it than to do it. But yeah, so we're gonna get these low voltage relays installed. They were supposed to be here tomorrow. Then I got told that they would be here Wednesday, and then this morning I got told they're out for delivery. So we're not gonna argue with that one bit. And since I didn't go into work because of the and I didn't want to be itching and scratching all day at work, here I am. Fix 'em, dude! Got into some weed this weekend. That's why my eyes are all red. It's good to see you, Fix 'em, dude. Hope you're doing well, man. Fix 'em, dude. You can probably stop your Twitch if you would like, sir. I'm gonna probably stream on Twitch every now and then. It's not going to be at all like it used to be. This is where I'm going to be streaming. So, if you'd like, you can always become a member over here. You don't have to though. You don't have to. Bear that in mind. Not a requirement. If you want to just keep doing it on Twitch, that's fine. Like I said, it's not going to be very often. I'm going to be streaming over there anymore. I think Melissa might be immune to poison ivy. Good. Tell her to come over and cut all the poison ivy down that's on my fence. That's a problem that I'm having. But again. So the backpack printer is now laid down, and this is the area right here where the two go. So, but yeah, so let me double check real quick before we get too crazy into this. Let's see here. Yep, it looks like these are the ones that Mr. Mitch ordered, or at least along the same lines, because they do kind of fit there in those holes. So basically it's mount one right here and the one next to it. So there'll be those two there. And actually, if I switch to that camera there, get a little bit better view. There you go. They go one here and one here. There's a little pile of wires here in the way, so, you know. But we got to get some screws and screw these guys in, and then we can mount the screws in for the batteries. We got to make sure that we pay attention to which side goes where, because my thought is, obviously, these are pretty much set to go where they need to on these, because here is your voltage out and your voltage in. So voltage out goes into this lovely set of Wagos here. And the batteries, this one is from this side over here, and then this one is from this side right here. So this one will go in here. This one will go in here, and again, this one will go into that one will go into that one, and then we'll have all the stuff on the battery side installed and ready to go. We just need to get some M3 by something small screws. Let's see here, what do we got? M3 by 6s. Should be plenty long enough, or plenty short enough, depending on which way you look at it. So we get these guys installed. LOL, yeah. We're cleaning out the yard, looking over. She been taking poison ivy vines down at the bottom of the tree and with her bare hands, and she didn't even, yeah, that'd be nice, man. I wish. I am allergic to poison ivy, so very well could be what I got into, because I've been itchy and scratchy and not comfortable. So very well could be what I got into. Let's make sure this is the right one. Again, guys, we're not going to be able to actually test this today, because I did not acquire the funds required to get the batteries. And even if I did, as of today, I still would need a little bit of extra income to get the gasoline I need to get there and back, because I is broke. Like, as a joke, broke. Like, thankfully the gas stations in town are kind enough to, you know, basically because they know us and we frequent there often, they hook us up with fountain pops. That's how we get them. But yeah, I guess I could look up there. I can't keep forgetting that I have that screen there. Let's see. Does look like, whoops. Let's loosen that a little bit. There we go. does look like we're probably only going to be able to put 2 of the 4 screws in because it looks like 2 of the screw holes are off just a little bit, which is probably going to be plenty for these. I'll see if I can get another screw in there after the fact. But I at least want to make sure that those are in to the best of their ability, which there's one. I'm going to get the other one out here. Ta-da! Same thing. We'll grab 2 screws. Make sure they're good. Stick one through the hole. Line everything up. Let's make sure that that one fits in there as well. So we'll move the wires out of the way. And look at that. It'll work. So there we go. So we'll have both of these guys installed. That's a bad screw. See if we can find another one here that's in good condition. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. Yeah, those are being held in pretty good by the 2, so I'm not going to worry. I'm pulling pretty hard on this bottom here, and the boards are flexing a bit more than anything, so right here on that, we'll give you a pass on. Oh, yeah. Yep. That's the thing, man. We go to the gas station so much, and we're good friends with pretty much everybody there. So it's like you walk in the door, and they're like, "All right, 2 pops." They're like, "Have a good day." They don't even let you pay anymore, which is good. You know, it's nice to be recognized and get a, $2 fountain pop. You know, it's always good. So let's see here. Based on this, it is lined up in the exact same way that Mr. Mitch has the wires set. Positive is on the outside here, and then negative is on the inside on this, and I'll show you again on the other one once it's a little more clear. But get this guy wired in real quick. I don't know that powering this up is going to actually power up the boards, so I don't know what we're going to see on there once I'm done, but we'll try it. And then again, same thing here. What I was saying is this outside is marked as positive. This inside is marked as negative on these. So, and it is marked on the board, so it is easy to see. So that is nice. So we'll rock that back. That one's locked in. Okay. Those are in nice and snug. Then again, this one and this one, let's make sure. Okay, yeah, this one goes to this battery over here, so we'll keep all that on this side. So tuck that wire under, and then we'll bring these down. And again, the negative is on the outside on this one, positive is on the inside. So they keep with the negative to the, or the positive to the right, negative to the left. They do the same thing here. It is indicated on the board with a negative sign and a positive sign. So let's loosen these 2 up. And it is marked for in and out. So you have your VIN and your VON, or VOU, or yeah, V in, V out. Sorry. So voltage in, voltage out. So voltage from the battery, voltage out to the Wagos and the rest of the circuitry. So we'll get these down in there. Tighten that one down. Tighten that one down. There we go. Spin around here real quick. Fix 'em, dude. Do they yell, Dan? Yeah, actually, they do. Usually when I walk in, that's kind of how it is. I'm going to try and turn the mic a little bit, or move the mic a little more this way. But yeah, they usually yell out Dan because, I live in a small town, and everybody's usually pretty friendly here, so I do want to make sure the wires are clear of the fan when I do this. So let's get this kind of lined up there in such a way that it helps protect and bind other wires. Okay. I don't know why my AC unit went off. It's hot and stuffy in here. So there we go. Pressed it all the way down. Tighten it down. Get this guy in there. Okay. Now the units are in. Everything should be good. We'll power it up and see if these units come online when power is in the system. Because, again, I'm not 100% certain on how that part will work or does work. Let's see if we tuck this down under here. It does get a heck of a... Okay. Let's pull this back. Because I'm not liking how tightly that got kind of twisted up there. Yeah, we'll leave it up a little bit here. It'll be fine. There's enough leg underneath it here to keep it from catching on something. So, all right. What's left to do is plug it in. Everything is kind of tightly screwed down. We'll give it all a double check here. So, let's see. A little loose there now. Oh, that was a bit looser. Yeah. You know, another final twisty twist to make sure everything is good and connected. You know, add a little more torques. There we go. Yeah, I'm shaking the whole machine when I'm pulling on these now. So yeah, we're good and solid there. Clip, mouse, TP. Hold on. You lived in a town of 1,700 people in Illinois as a kid. You understand everyone knows everyone. You are correct, sir. Oh, clip to mouse, TP. Oh, mouse to the printer. If you were going to be facing the... Oh, with wiring for a bit? Ah, yeah. I got you now. Okay. Never mind. Just realized how much you were moving. The whole printer might not make for good. Oh, yeah, the mic. Yeah, not the mice, the mic. Got it. Yeah, no. Here we go, though. Ready? So, power is reconnected. Let's see if when we turn the power on, if these units or these boards come to life. It is looking like they are not, so they do not backfeed in from here, obviously. So we will have to have batteries in order to get these guys to come online and be able to do anything with them. So, till I can get some of those bare batteries, I will not know if the battery circuitry side of this is working because it does not pull back, which is kind of expected. It's good to keep it from surging back into the system and killing stuff. Smart idea, right? But the nice part is Mitch went a little overboard, and by overboard I mean he did good. He put fuses on both batteries, so it comes basically out of the battery through a fuse and then into the system, along with some of these little directional ferrules, or not ferrules, I forget, diodes. Yeah, like a directional diode. Yeah. So it keeps current flowing one way so it can't backfeed into the system and blow things up. Or it's less likely to do that. Yeah. Blue smoke incoming from the right side. Blue smoke coming from the right side. Where? I don't see no blue smoke. JPP, are you messing with me? I didn't see or smell any blue smoke. I think JPP is messing with me. See, that's what I thought. You got me scared for a second. I was going to say, I figured with my luck that would be what would happen, and then I'd have to blame JPP. I am talking directly into the microphone now, so I'm probably pretty loud, but now I'm away from it. So, but you know, there we go, guys. That's the extent of what I can do. If anybody would like to see batteries running on this thing for tomorrow, I mean, I'm not going to end the stream. That'd be silly. I'm only streaming for 23 minutes. We're going to hang out for a while, you know. Off Axis, what's going on, man? It was just the smoke from the 420 SIGs. Ah, yes. Yep. How's it going, Cunningham Customs? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. So, for those who are just popping in now, let me explain what we did here. When I got the printer from Mitch, he took these two boards out for another printer that he's got that he has been working on forever. These are basically a low voltage and over voltage protection circuit. It's got a relay in here. My understanding, I don't know for sure because I don't have batteries to test it, because the unit is set up to not backfeed into these boards from the 24 volt system, so you don't run into a problem where you're backfeeding in and possibly damaging the batteries or any of the other circuitry. So these units don't backfeed. All power just kind of keeps moving through and then out to the printer. So that's kind of how the whole system is set up here, or how Mitch has everything set up as it comes through the batteries, or from up above where the XT60 connector comes in. This wire comes in and down. They all kind of join in here, and the way they join in is they got a Schottky diode. That's what it's called, the Schottky diodes. So it's got a bunch of Schottky diodes in each line to keep voltage from coming back to kind of cross over the system. But the voltages all come through into, like in this case, each one of these boards, it goes through and then out and then into the system through a Schottky diode, and then from there it all kind of rolls through this board here to handle the, if I remember correctly, to handle the step up from 20 to 24 volts so that the printer will run. And then from here it goes out and then up to the barrel plug that plugs into the printer. So that is kind of the flow, is it flows from this side, or the top where that connector is, they flow into here through Schottky diodes so they don't go backwards to each other, and then kind of flow from those out into this board. This board steps the 20 volts it gets from the batteries, or the 24 volts that comes in, and just keeps it current at 24 up to the printer. So that is the system. And shockingly enough, I was able to follow that to tell you as I went across. Like, I remembered stuff. If anybody is wondering what board this one is, all I can tell you is it says SKU number is 009682. So that's all I know. There is two pots, or not pots, but help me out here, guys. What are these things called? The little blue thing with the screw on it. I'm drawing a blank. Can't say long, just wanted to pop in. Well, thank you, Cunningham Customs. Make sure you smash the like button before you go. How about that algorithm? Thanks for chatting, you know. But I'm drawing a blank on what the hell those are now. I know what they are. I've talked about them many a times. But anyway, there's the two of them there. I'm thinking it's one for, I'm not sure what they're both for. I haven't actually looked into this board yet to see what everything is and how it works. Barely understood these guys. I am not the engineer type. That's Mr. Mitch. So go to mitch3d.com or go to his channel, Mitch3D. Give him a follow, show him some love if you aren't already, but I know most all of you already are. So that's awesome. What I was going to say, though, let me come back here for a minute. What I was going to say is, guys, here's the deal. So far, this is as far as we got. Buck converters. Yeah, speaking of, I got a buck converter I got to put in there because I need to get 5 volts to power the Pad 5 and the CB1. I need to get 5 volts to this. So I do have a buck converter. Where did that little guy go? Here it is. So I will have to work on getting this guy wired in and making sure that it's just over 5 volts, like 5.1. Doesn't hurt to go a little over, especially since we're going to be powering the screen and the board. So I will have to get this thing wired in too. Well, for right now around the house. And for what I've been doing, I can always use, I've got a big battery pack that I can plug into the Pi for now and run that off of that. But at some point, I need to get this thing wired in. And from looking at all of the connectors down here, it does look like I do have one more open set. Double checking, yeah. There's one more open set on the positive and the negative down here. Let me jump you guys back over here. There are these bottom two on the Wegos. These guys are open. There is nothing in there. So I would be able to come off of those, and then all I've got to do is print a little mount for this, and I can mount this, you know, pretty much, you know, anywhere under here. You know, even if I want to go crazy, I can wrap a piece of heat shrink over the top of it if I really want to, an oversized piece, and then a double-sided tape it to something. But it wouldn't take much to come up with something for this. I just know with the way Mitch has this all laid out, there's really, I mean, I could maybe print a bracket that can go through where this screw hole is here that Mitch looks like he may have wanted to put a T-nut through there at one point, but did not. But we could maybe put it there or wherever. But then I'll need to run USB, grab a USB adapter, USB-A, and we can go straight off this. Or if I can get a longer USB-C to USB-A cable, and then we can lop the end off and just solder directly in the positive and negatives from the USB to go up to the other end, because really that's all I'm going to use that for on that side. Is it's just going to be to power the, I could actually run a dual off of this if I want to get crazy, and then have another USB port on like the side of the printer somewhere to plug in. I could put a dual maybe up a little higher here on the back rail. I could put a little dual USB up there and then have it so that I can just plug the power in up there and have it just run right over the shoulder and then down either into the wrist brace or hang off the chest strap, and then pick it up, look at it, and let it hang. And then just run the USB data cable up over the shoulder and down, plug that in as well, and it'll all be right here on the chest. So yeah, so we got to get that guy installed. There's another way to do it. It's even easier than using this. It's another Amazon purchase. Give me a second. I'm going to move you guys over. Let me hit up my lovely page here. Let's go to Amazon.com. Okay, let's minimize this. Go back to this. Click here and go 24 volt to USB adapter. And then here we go. It's like one of these guys here. And actually, once I bring you guys over, let's make the font a little bigger for you. So something kind of like one of these guys here, or what I was going to say is like this one here, for instance. It's already got the red and black wire, comes into the board here that already has the buck in it, and then has two USBs that come out. And the two USBs are set to mount flat, so I could mount them right to the 2020 extrusion with a couple of like M3s and T-nuts. So, you know, again, this guy here, just a couple M3s and some T-nuts, mount those right underneath the 2020, and it takes from 10 volt, or yeah, it takes DC 10 volt to DC 32 volts down to 5 volts, 6 amps, 30 watts, which should be more than enough to power the Raspberry Pi and possibly even charge a cell phone too. So it's pretty sweet. Dan's 3D Prints UK. What's going on, Dan's 3DP UK? By the way, Tripod, hello. JPP, hello. Off Axis, hello. Cunningham Customs, and Dan's 3D Printing UK. Hi, guys. I want to make sure I give shout-outs when I can. And Fix and Dude again. Fix and Dude, brother. 3D Medic Vince. But, yeah, so this will be another thing I want to add to the list, to something along these lines. Like I said, the reason I was looking at this one is a little bit, I kind of like the way those USB connectors are. No 3D printing required for this one. All it would be is just a couple M3s or possibly even M4s with some T-nuts. And then I can mount these right under the bottom or right at the back of the pack. Basically have the cables just kind of come out right into the back of the extrusion. Plug in my 2 USBs for power. And again, they'll pull in from 10 volts to 32 volts and turn it into 5 volts, 6 amps at 30 watts, which again should be more than enough. All the DANs find their way here eventually. Yes, this is kind of like where, you know, Jim, the Edutech, have their Council of Andrews, where all the Andrews come to hang out. For some reason, when they find out there's a Dan streaming, we Dans all kind of come out to support them. Except for Modbot. Modbot's not here. Somebody should go tag Modbot and be like, the Council of Dans, yeah, the Council of Dans are meeting at my stream. Maybe Modbot will pop by and say hi. Had to flute my lungs. Sorry, guys. But yeah, it does say your DC voltage is 10 to 32 volts at 5 volts, 6 amps, and then underneath it does say in 12 to 24 volts, which is fine because at most it'll be 24 volts when it's running off of power, and it'll be 20 volts at what's running off back. So shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, so I was thinking something like this. As a matter of fact, let's do this. Ready? Add new list. Makermind Nexus. There you go. It's currently in my list. So now it's in the list. I have daughters, so if you saw something that looked like ladies' undergarments, it's because my wife and daughters shop Amazon for everything, because we're introverts, don't like to go out often. So if the wires are long enough, might be able to run one plug with T extrusion to the top and shoulder strap and just plug in the screen in the, yeah. It'd be cool if the cables were long enough, but they don't look like they would be, because this part's going to be mounted down under, and it's already got, again, a hole and a slot. So we can put one screw with a T-nut in and then slot the other one in there with another screw and T-nut. So this can be mounted right to the 2020 extrusion underneath. These can be mounted to the 2020 extrusion either on the back or on the side. Not a huge issue. I'm thinking maybe on the back so I can run it up the back of the back plate and then up over the shoulder, which is kind of how the one wire goes. The data cable can follow that up together. And actually, since I have some of that lovely smaller wire, the sheathing that you should put over your wires, I've got some of that. I can always use that too to kind of help make it one solid wire, or one wire coming up and over. Plus it'll protect the wire. I can zip tie on it and be a little less worried about cutting in. But so this is roughly what I'm thinking, is instead of soldering that little guy in, probably going with something like this guy. It is in my Amazon wish list, which is currently linked in the description down below. If you don't see it in the actual stream, look in the link tree. There's a link down there for my link tree. Out to, yeah. But that's the thought. And like I said, the best part is if they're down low down here and it runs up and around, the other one, if I mount them somewhere in the back, I can plug the USB in, and then I usually carry my phone in my right leg pocket, because I usually wear like carpenter pants or painter's pants. Go figure. Phone's ringing. Suspected spam. That's what came up on the screen. So obviously we're not answering that call. So it says suspected spam. No need to answer that. 8 layers of protection, safe and reliable. So anyway, back to what I was saying, guys. We are currently at a bit of a standstill with the project, because until I can afford to get the batteries and the charger I need to get this thing working, it's just going to be a powered unit running off of wall power. It's just the honest truth. I can't test these. I can't set these until I have the batteries in them. And right now I'm like, you know, that Brown Creek that everybody talks about, that's where I'm at. I'm in the Brown Creek without the paddles, and the boat's got a hole in it right now. So if anybody, oh yeah, your Chubby Cables, I forgot. I'll have to hit up Chubby Cables and see if they want to maybe send something my way to help out. Yeah. I'm going to need a long one. 3.3 feet when it stretches, huh? We'll have to see. We'll have to see. That'd be kind of interesting to check out because 3.3 feet, they have to come up over my back and down my arm. So it may not be long enough. They do have hopefully something a little longer. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they got like a 6-footer. I'm guessing probably a 6-foot cable because they'll probably have to come up over my back and then down. So each plug in the corner, bottom 2020 extrusion, and use the coiled cable like that. Yeah, like I said, it's going to need to be able to stretch to 6 feet and not have too much like strain on it. I don't want to have too much strain if it's going to be plugged in on my wrist. You know what I'm saying? If it's hanging here, it won't be as far. It shouldn't be too bad. To have the coil there and have it plugged in, it shouldn't be too bad if it's just hanging there. So that won't be too bad. Like the old school corded phones. Yeah, it'd be interesting. Like I said, I'll have to, see what I can do, man. You did put your referral code in there too. So if anybody else wants to buy any chubby cables, that's JPP's referral. It gets him a little kickback for that. So help him out. If you were looking to get some USB cables, you want something a little tougher and more durable. If you notice the connectors are held together by screws and metal, not plastic and glue. And the cables have that lovely braided, jacket around it too to help protect the cable a little bit more. So there are some pretty tough cables. He did have one at Murph that he showed me. It's pretty badass. So it'd be pretty cool. Maybe JPP could hit up his contact at Chubby Cables and see if they want to sponsor the USB, the 2 USB cables I'll need. Because I will need one uncoiled for the data to go from the screen to the control to the back of the printer. And then I'll need another one to go from power up over the back and then to the screen to power it. So we'll need 2. I'll need one USB-A. It looks like they don't have any USB-A though. Damn it. Grr. Let's see. Maybe they do and I'm just missing it. All Chubby Cables. Well, let's go take a look and see if they have USB-A or if they just stick to C and Apple. Well, it looks like they may stick to just C and Apple. Realistically, dude, like the neon green. Why not? Let's go neon green since, green is my color. If they say yeah, just tell them green. Tell them I do need a USB-A if that's something they have in the arsenal and just not on the website. The USB-A data cable would have to be the flat or the straight cable. And then the coiled cable, hopefully a 3-footer, or 3.3 meter, should be hopefully able to stretch out far enough. But yeah, I mean, if worst case, direct them to this video where they can see where I talked about what I'm looking for and then see what they say. Oh, you can select which end you want? Cool. Yeah, because I'll need for the data side of it, it will need to be a data through, not just power. But I will need one that has USB-A on one side and USB-A, USB-B, right? The house-shaped one. The one that looks like this. Yeah, one that looks like that. There he goes. Now he's sending you just the link to the website, guys, so you can kind of see what they have. But anyway, no, I think it'll be fun to finish this thing up, but I can't. I really can't afford to do it on my own. Oh, my leg is breaking out now. Son of a biscuit. I got like a giant red mark right here on the inside of my knee, and it's kind of up over the leg a little bit. So I'm probably going to have to talk to the doctor and get a steroid pack to kick this thing's butt, because it's either that or it's probably going to take me a couple weeks to get rid of it. And it's starting to bother the lip here. My earlobe here is a bit puffy and not happy and red, and behind this ear is getting kind of scaly. So yeah, and like I said, on the inside of the knee, if I stand up here to stand the printer up, you might be able to see it. But I'll stand the printer back up. No, you can't tell. Very pasty white. It blew out the camera. So pasty. There we go. Ta-da! Let's get the Pi plug back in, or the Pad 5. Whoops. Let's get the old Pad 5 plug back in. I could even go crazy, make a mount to put this back here to kind of like hide it, kind of like this. You know, hide it up underneath the printer a little bit. Could. Don't want to though. I want to keep it on the front where I can see it. Does me no good on the back if everybody else can see it and I can't. Okay, that's plugged back in. Let's get power back on. There we go. There we go. Power up. So, I guess what I've been trying to say, and I keep beating around the bush because my ADHD gets the best of me when I start talking about stuff, is if you can help, they're Harbor Freight Bauer batteries. I don't know how much they are today, but I know that roughly it's, what was it, a 2-pack? Let's go take a look again. Harbor Freight. And then let's look up Bauer, B-A-U-E-R. Here's the 2-pack bundle of batteries. Those are currently $80, $79.99. And then I also would need a charger. They do have a single charger, or they have, let's look up Bauer again. Bauer 20-volt batteries, because it needs to be the 20s. Yeah, the 20-volt 5-amp high capacity, it says, those are $80. And then there is a 2-battery charger, which is $59.99. And then, so ideally I would like to get 2 of the 2-packs of the 20-volt 5-amp hour. It's $160, but if I can only get 2 to start, wouldn't complain. So if somebody had $80 burning a hole in their pocket and somebody else had another $60 burning a hole in their pocket, you know, feel free. You know, don't forget there's going to be some tax in there too, because state of Illinois loves to put tax on everything. So if you could send along roughly 150-ish, if somebody's got 150, maybe, you know, more, would be greatly appreciated, so that I can maybe get 2 of the 2-packs and then 1 charger, because the charger is a dual charger. If you're curious as to what I'm talking about, let me go to this screen here. These guys right here. These are the Bauer 24-volt 5-amp hour high capacity lithium ion battery bundle 2-pack for $80. 1 battery is like $60. So here's the 8-amp hour. Not that I'm going to be driving with or flying with these. I would be mostly driving. So somebody wanted to be generous enough to help me get the larger capacity batteries, wouldn't argue. Here's the dual for $60. There is a single rapid charger for $32. So if you wanted to be kind enough to help me out with a 2-pack and the single charger, won't complain. So be very thankful, very appreciative. And so if somebody sent me like $150, that'd be enough to get a set of batteries at $80, and then still have, you know, the $60, which is like $140 plus a little tax. So $10-20 for tax. There you go. That'd be 2-pack batteries and the dual port charger. Or if I don't have enough, I'll get the single charger and a 2-pack of batteries. Wouldn't care. Would be greatly appreciated across the board. But since, you know, it says I have 6 people watching, who are you and what are you doing? Hi, I'm Dan, and I'm asking for help. Let me jump back here. So, yeah, ideally I would love to get the batteries, get this thing up and running. Can't right now because don't have any money. Not going to lie. My YouTube monies is, I got the notification that there's about $100 coming in from YouTube, but that's got to go in the gas tank because I got to get to work for the week because I didn't go to work again today for obvious reasons. So It sucks, man. I have a lot of work I'm gonna have to make up because I can't afford to get to work to do it. Ow, ow, ow. Itchy, 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 itchy. Damn. I guess I have to remember to start wearing jeans, gloves, and like a long sleeve shirt when I go out to do yard work, because apparently in my old age my body doesn't take too kindly to the things that didn't bother it that much in the past. A couple of white hairs that are just poking. So yeah, how far is y'all's house from your work? 45-minute drive. It's 35 miles roughly, 36 miles. So every day it's 36 miles. It's 72 miles round trip. Takes me about an hour and a half of my day. Yeah, a golf cart would be nice, but not for 32 miles or 36 miles. It's 72 miles round trip, so it's 36 miles one way. Yeah. Ideally, I'm the perfect candidate for an electric vehicle, but our government makes it so hard to get an electric vehicle. So, because my trip to and from work would be 75-ish miles round trip every day, I could plug in every night, charge up overnight, and be ready to go every morning. And that's really all the farther I would be going, so that's really all I would need, you know? Yeah, I would love to find like, a 2000s Prius or something like that to be my work car. Would be nice since my Saab is still dead at my in-laws because it needs a computer. And Mitch yelled at me because when his car died and I started asking the community for help, Mitch said, "Why don't you ask the community to help you?" And I said, "Because you need the help." So that's what I did. So yeah, I didn't don't I guess my priorities in the wrong place because I want to get this thing going. We have a vehicle, so we just make do with one. It'd be a different story if we only had one vehicle and it was down. That'd be a different thing. Might be worth hitting up an e-bike company to sponsor too. All right, if an e-bike company wanted to have somebody that would put, that many. I mean, that's a hell of a drive because it's all two-lane country roads, two-lane highways and country roads. That would be a hell of a trip on an e-bike. You figure if I'm getting what, we'll say I can get 15 miles an hour on that thing. We'll say I can get up to 15. At 15 miles an hour, it would take 2.5 hours roughly to get to work every day. I would be leaving at 4 a.m. to get there by 6:30, roughly. That's a hell of a trek. I mean, if the thing could get up to 35 miles an hour, that wouldn't be so bad. It'd take just about an hour for me to get to work, but then I'd be looking at a 2 hour, a little over 2 hour every day road trip instead of an hour and a half. But if somebody's got a beefy enough bike and they want to send it out, I may give it a whirl. Modern e-bikes go up to 70, bro. 100-mile range on the battery. If it can do 70 miles an hour, sustain 70 miles an hour, and get me to and from work, that wouldn't be bad. Because I would just hop on that bad boy, throw a little flashy light on it, and just rip down the highway on my way to work. That'd be pretty cool, It's more compatible than a 50cc moped, yeah. Little mopeds are slow. So, but yeah, guys, that's kind of where I'm at with everything today. Once I can acquire the batteries, I will get those, and then we'll be able to set the voltages on those boards so that they know to cut off at whatever the low voltage cutoff is on those batteries, which, speaking of, I'm going to go double check those real quick. So I'm going to go back to Harbor Freight again. I'll type in power batteries and see what their low end is, or if it says anything about specs on the batteries and specifications. No, it doesn't. So I'll have to double check with Mitch and see where he set the cutoffs for those batteries. So I'll double check with Mitch, see where he had that set at, so I know where would be a good safe cutoff, so that I don't um, kill the batteries outright. Let it get too low and then they don't charge. My guess is 20 volts, probably somewhere around 16, 15, 16 volts. I could be way wrong on that. I really don't know. I'm not like super up on battery packs and what's considered the low voltage. Bikes are dangerous, misnomer. More like electric motorcycles now. Yeah, yeah, an electric motorcycle with a mountain bike frame. Yeah, it'd be interesting. But no, I guess ask Simon Cowell. Yeah, he got messed up. And he went down hard. That side, man. Was it not Simon Cowell? What was it, Simon Cowell? Yeah, Simon Cowell broke a wrist or something, and then uh, the Angry Chef. The hell's his name? The crabby chef that Hell's Kitchen and stuff. The hell's his name? Gordon Ramsay. That's it. Gordon Ramsay. He had a bike accident, and he was just black and blue up his entire side. I don't know what happened in his bike accident. I just saw that it was a bike accident. Oh, don't forget tonight. Yeah, tonight is Hot Makes at 6 p.m. Central. So don't forget to go check out Hot Makes over on the Hot Makes YouTube channel. I'll be watching. Yeah. Yeah. And it looks like the Lee Marie 3D channel has a stream coming up, the V0.2 on the 27th at 11 a.m. my time. So 11 a.m. Central Standard. I think that's what, noon for them. So, and of course, I'm getting hit with a bunch of political crap in my YouTube feed. Surprise. Oh yeah, Gordon Ramsay got messed up bad. He was black and blue down his entire side. So yeah, but we've been streaming for about an hour now, and I hate to say it, but still understand your Discord DM answer a few days ago. Oh, I think I was meaning like not sure, as in like I'm or like I think it was more of a I just don't know the answer to what you were saying there. That might be what it was. Give me a second to get Discord popped up here, and I'll double check and see if I can jar my memory as to what you were saying and what my response meant. Uh, mm, oh, here we go. What's this referring to? I think I was saying not sure, as in like I'm not sure what that's referring to when you were talking about the part you had circled, and then you sent me the link to this and said, so easy remix, adjust those plates, widen the top to match the two screws side by side instead of one in the middle. That's what I was saying, not sure to. I'm not sure if it would be easy to remix that. That's what I meant. Tomorrow or Wednesday. Well, I say go for it, man. Just remember, I'm gonna live stream again tomorrow. We're gonna we're gonna probably, depending on if I can get the batteries or not, we'll work on this guy. And once I get the batteries, I still need to. Yes. But yeah, that's what I was referring to. I wasn't sure if it was gonna be easy to mod or not. Well, I suggest you guys do a stream, man. Talk to the community, and you guys get some feedback in a live stream. That's what I'm thinking. I think you guys need to live stream. Talk to the community that way and help build up your channel by, putting yourself out there, good sir. So I say do it. I mean, I'm just using a Logitech C920 and microphone. That's my primary setup. Logitech C920. This microphone here, you don't have to have wireless. This one works better according to you guys. So using this, just a regular microphone and that, or just pop up the old cell phone and, you know, just talk to the interwebs through your cell phone. I do that in the backyard or when I was taking the road trip to Murph. But yeah, do a live stream, put it in the old books there, and I'll mention it out for you and help get people to come say hey. And pretty sure other folks in the community will help kind of mention it. Well, yeah, do the stream, and as many of us as show up, hopefully you'll get the answers you're looking for. I don't have my keys on me. I was going to show you guys what I've been doing the last couple of days, but I kind of forgot to give these back to Chris, or Chris forgot to take them out of my stuff. So he left these NFC tags, these little 25 millimeter like sticker NFC tags. They're writable. So I went in using NFC Tools app for Android. Went in and created a just a URL. So when you scan it, it goes to my Linktree account. And I found a key tag that these fit in. So I just stopped the print before it starts that first layer, or that first layer to cover the little spot inside the tag. And then I stick one of these in there and I kind of flatten it down in there and let it print over the top, and it hides the NFC inside. And you can write the link to it. So that's what I've been doing, make little tags. So when people ask how they can find me, I can just say, take out your phone and enable NFC and scan this. And then they scan it. It brings up the web page with my link tree with all my links to stuff. So made a couple of those. I'll probably hang one off the shoulder strap on the backpack printer so I'm not walking around. People are like, where can I find you? I'll be like, you got NFC on your phone? They say, yeah. I'll be like, scan this. And then they can, boop, just scan the tag and keep going. Or I might even just put, let's talk about something that I haven't mentioned yet. I reached out to a company that makes the space gray frames. I had a chat with them. That company says that they very well could assist. They're going to look and see what they have in the dimensions I need to assist me with making this a little wider, a little deeper, and a little taller, so that I can then plexiglass panel like a door here, and then the two sides, and then something on top, even if I make it one solid piece and just cut out the notch for the filament to feed down and in. So yes, JPP, you are correct, sir. You're talking to me in Discord, but yes, you are correct. You could always in your models basically import a 26 millimeter by 1 millimeter deep crevasse in the base of each one of them, and then basically you just write to these whatever you want it to be, and then stick them in the model. Sheesh, suspected spam. That's all I get anymore. Suspected spams. What would be cool is if the Dapper Dan duck's butt was bigger around, that I could fit these in the bottom of the Dapper Dan, so when people get these from me, they could boop, scan it and find me that way. When I give, like, I put a little sign up on the table that says scan my butt, and then they could just be like, what? I'd be like, scan his butt. And then they boop, and then it'll read. That'd be cool. I'd have to make him bigger. Definitely much bigger. I'll have to see how big I would have to go to get a 26 millimeter. It's like 25.5 millimeters. That's really all you need, is just a little bit of room to get the sticker all the way in. The tags that I'm using has a perfect 25 millimeter hole, and these are a little big going in, so I usually take the back half of a broken pair of tweezers, the rounded edge here. I take this edge and kind of like press it all the way around on the print. So that is startling with the audio turned up. Yeah, it is. That's why I should probably mute my phone. But if somebody were to send me something, I'd like notification of it so I can give credit where credit is due. So let's just double check and make sure nobody did, because I would hate to have missed somebody if they took off already. I got 5 concurrent viewers. Nope, nothing there. Let's see here. Go back here. Nope, nothing there. And let's check this one real quick, just to make sure the 3 links I got down below, nobody sent nothing to none of them. And doesn't look like it. Nope. Okay. So I didn't miss anything. My phone made a couple other noises, so I wasn't sure. Gooder, LOL. Yes, making older printers gooder. I thought you would like that, especially Llama, because it's the kind of speak that, you understand. So, but, Llama, it's the Sliceworks, Mamadad. What's going on? Good to see you, man. You guys really aren't late, because I don't normally stream at this time on this day. So you guys really aren't late. This was just a random stream where we installed the 2 low voltage battery cutoffs underneath this side of the printer here. But because I don't have the income to get the batteries, we can't test them yet. However, again, if anybody would like to, the links are down below. The batteries, I just showed these guys before you guys got here. The batteries are $80 for a 2-pack of the 5 amp hour 20 volt Bauer batteries from Harbor Freight, because that's what Mitch has designed this to run off of. And then there's a single charger, which is like $32, $33. So it's like $80 for 2 batteries, and then $33 for a single charger. Or they have the dual charger that'll do 2 batteries for $60. So if anybody's feeling kind, if you have like $80, $85, $90 for some batteries, and then another like $35 to $40 or $60 to $70 for a charger, because I don't know what taxes would be. But if you have $150, $200 laying around that you're not doing anything with, and you want to see me get this thing running on batteries, send it my way. I'll run to Harbor Freight today, get the batteries, and then come home, get them charged up and ready, and then tomorrow's stream, 5 o'clock Central Standard here, we'll get batteries in this thing, and I will make sure to charge up my battery pack so that I can power this for the time being until I get a buck converter put in there. Drill battery and charger. It's only $30 for a drill battery, bucks for the drill with battery and charger. Really? We were just on the site, Llama. Let me, and I mean, if there's, well, the battery is the 1.5 amp hour battery, isn't it though? If that's the case. Let's go to Power Tools. Let's take a look. Drills. It needs to be not the Warrior brand. It's got to be the Bauer brand, because as far as I know, Warrior and Bauer are not the same battery style. But let me look at it and see. I don't know if it uses the same type of battery as the... I mean, if it uses the same battery, then the Warrior batteries will work. But I just know Mitch said Bauer batteries, so that's why I said Bauer batteries. Oh, it's 18 volts. This needs to be 20 volts, Llama. That's the other thing. It needs to be a 20 volt system. But no, I mean, I want to look, Llama, if I can get a deal on a battery charger and all. Yeah, it's 1.5 amp hour. It's $54.99. let's do this. Ready? Pull this over here, and then we'll hit this guy here. And let me pull up my OBS again. So it's OBSception. Move that over here. But no, just to let everybody see. I like transparency. You know that, Llama. I could go crazy and get the 20 volt 6-tool combo kit for $200. But the problem is, it comes with 3 amp hour, 1.5 amp hour battery and charger. The 5 amp hours is what Mitch was using. And need to make sure, see, I guess it's a 1.5 amp hour battery. So, yeah. But if we just do a search for power 20 volt battery, again, here's the 18 and 20 volts are the same thing. Yeah, kind of. But the 20 volts on a 24 volt system with step up, it'll last a little bit longer. It's not working as hard to get up to that 24 volts. But here's kind of where I was at. I can either go with one 5 amp hour battery and a charger for $100, which is limited stock in Peru, which is the town I would go to. They do have the 3 amp hour battery by itself for $60, or you can get the 5 amp hour 2-pack for $80. So this is kind of what I was looking at, because this is what Mitch said he's got, and this is what you can fly with. Mitch, there we go. Okay, so 18 volts is the same thing as the 20 volts. 20 volts is a max voltage, 18 is the nominal. Okay. You can also use the Ryobi 18 if you get the adapters. Okay. I picked up Bauer because it was the cheapest available for the watt hour. Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at, Mitch. I mean, what you used is what you used, and it works. That's ideally what I would like to do. So I'm not going crazy with get this adapter and do this and do that. Just if it's possible, I would like to get the 20 amp hour or the 20 volt 5 amp hours, because that's what you used with the system, and you said 4 of them could last you an entire event. So take it to events and stuff, take it to whatever. It'd be nice to have 4 of them just to have on hand, and then get either the single charger for $32.99 currently, or get that dual charger, which is right here, for the $60. I figured if I got the dual charger, I could always make sure there was at least 2 batteries ready to go if I ever needed to do a quick swap and go. So, but when asking the general public to assist, it's very hard to, ask for money as it is, and then it's even harder for people who don't have it to give it. So when they do, I appreciate it. If somebody says, I can cover the single charger, well, then I'm getting a single charger and I'll make do. And then if somebody, can't do $80 for the 2-pack of batteries, currently, like I said, the single 1 battery with charger is $99. It'll run off 1 battery for the time being, Yeah, and you did the buy the tools, get the batteries. Like, for instance, here's an impact, brushless impact for $160 with charger and a 5 amp hour battery. I did notice, though, in my area at least, a lot of the tools only come with a 1.5 amp hour battery. 1.5 amp hour. This kit here comes with 2 1.5 amp hour batteries. This impact comes with a 1.5 amp hour battery. This guy, another 1.5. This one here does come with the 5 amp hour. And then I know that there's more to it than just this. Like, I know they've got like their lawn and garden kits and stuff. So if we do all just the power tools, you come down and start looking. Again, it's just a matter of finding the ones like, again, the big impact. Smart move, Mitch. You have Bauer batteries, get free tools. Yeah. So, like this kit the kit comes with a 3 amp hour battery and a 1.5 amp hour battery and a charger, and it's a 6-tool combo. So you get a 3 amp and a 1.5. 1.5 amp would last you like 30 minutes print time. Yeah, see, so, the 5 amp hours would be nice. Uh, Ideally, I would love to get the much larger 12 amp hour batteries because, again, I don't really fly much. So it'd be kind of nice to get the 12 amp hour batteries if I could get two of those bad boys. But considering I could buy almost four of the 5 amp hour batteries for the price of one of the 12 amp hour, you can get almost 20, or you get at least 15 amp hours for the same price as you can 112. But again, it's a lot of battery, not a lot, but it's some battery swaps. So, but ideally, two of these 12 amp hour batteries would probably do me for an 8 hour. We'd say about an 8 hour day, Mitch. Benchy per battery. Yep. So again, if anybody is feeling generous, has the ability, and can, not don't go being crazy. Smaller batteries allow you to charge and hot swap batteries. Yeah. But if you have the means and can help, the links are down below. You don't have to. I'll figure it out. I always do. But Mitch, I did get the two boards installed underneath there. I did notice the screw holes are just a little off, so I put 2 screws in each one, and it seems pretty rigid, pretty solid, so I'm not super worried. I don't know if you had that same problem, or if maybe the ones you recommended for me are just a little off on from the ones maybe you used before, if those are the same ones, if you did the same thing. So, one benchy per battery, unless he tunes it up. Oh, tunes it up to do a 30-minute benchy. Yeah, we'll play around with it more. I've got, again, thanks to Raspberry Pi sending them out, I've got a couple of these bad boys here, and I'm pretty sure I have an ADXL floating around, so we can build set it up to do input shaping and just plug it in, throw the ADXL on there, and go. You get 2 benchies per battery without the heated bed, which again, they screwed in with M3 screws. Yep, I used M3s. The screw holes are just a little off. So that's why I just wonder if maybe, like I said, I just wonder if maybe I got a different one. Pico, yep, Pi Pico W's. Yes, sir. They sent me 30 of them. 20 of them are going to the school, so I can give 10 to each one of the STEM classes. And then I told them I was looking for some for me for my YouTube channel for projects. So they sent me 30 of them. I kept 10, and then 10 for each school. They were cool with that, so that's what we did. So, and all I did was reach out to Raspberry Pi on their website. I went to their little like contact us form, manufacturer differences. Yeah, and that's kind of what I figured, but it's in there solid, Mitch. Like the 2 screws are in solid, and when I tried to pull on the bottom of the boards just to see if they were going to wiggle, the whole table with the printer and all was rocking a little bit, so they're in solid enough. So I'm not going to worry. And then also, Mitch, I noticed that there is at least one port left open on the WEGO connectors. There's at least one positive and one negative left, which is good because I was looking at getting the USB buck converter, the one with the little USB pigtails that come off of it, and it has the red and black wires in the little box. I'm looking at getting one of those to put on here so that I can power this guy as well. So that'll kill some of the battery life as well running this too. So we'll have to see what a 5 amp hour battery does with this on it. For right now, I've got a battery bank or a battery pack. So I'm going to grab that and just power that off the battery pack for now until I can get that USB buck converter. And then I'll wire it in and mount it to the 2020 underneath, and then run the USBs out the side, and probably mount them on the back here between the backpack and the frame. Mount them both on the side there, so I can just plug one USB in, run it up over the shoulder and down. And like I said, either run it up over the shoulder and then just design something to hold the Raspberry Pi here on the chest so I can flip it up and look at it and then set it down. Or if, like I said, the mention of somebody turning a Pip-Boy, make it a Pip-Boy that would be capable of mounting this inside of it and then setting it up so that I can basically get USB-C at a 90 and USB-A at a 90, and then running two little extensions to the edge of the Pip-Boy, and then I can just plug the USBs in like this, run it down my arm, and just plug the two USBs in that way. So, be working on the exoskeleton for a wearable for Phoenix. But as I was saying, as long as you wired them correctly, the batteries go to the inputs on the right polarity and out to the regular connectors. Yes. See, I bet you were JPP. Wish I knew what you were saying. I'm at work. No audio. Okay, well, Martine. Throw a little thumbs up for Martine. Programming those relays is confusing. The voltage you set is the cutoff voltage. You want to set it to 15 volts, 5 times 3 per cell. The other setting is your deadband, the voltage above where it turns on. Okay, so basically the cutoff voltage, when I set that, I'll set that to 15 volts. And then the deadband voltage is the voltage above where it turns on. So, not sure what deadband voltage is, but I'm sure you're going to look at that. Okay, so the 15 volts set with a 2-volt deadband, it won't kick back on until you have 17 volts. Okay. So basically, I have to tell it to cut off at 15 volts and then not to use a battery that doesn't have more than 17 volts. That way it won't kick back on. So like if it kicks off and then the battery for some reason says, hey, I've got more voltage, and it kicks back on, it won't do it till it's at least 17 or above. Got it. I think I might have to come back and watch this to understand that, or when I actually get the batteries and can plug them in to test them with it, because since I don't have a benchtop supply, it's not like it can hot wire the system and trick it into turning on at 20 volts so that I can set those. So, yeah. And once it's set, Mitch, like once those boards are both set with the voltages, they stay like that, right? It's not every time the battery dies, you have to go in and reset them. Shouldn't be. Yeah, it'd be kind of interesting to see somebody turn a Phoenix into a go-kart. So like when you go to an event or something, you can just like using actually joysticks, like drive the Phoenix into the event and park it. That would be interesting to see. Positron backpack is next. Yes, Mitch, you are doing the positron backpack. I made the smart ass comment about how I could do a positron backpack with the basic setup of this, and Mitch was like, I'm doing it first, and I'm like, you're right, you are. I'm not going to step on toes. But I did reach out to LDO. I did ask kindly if they could send me a space gray rails a little bit larger in size so that I can add a little more depth, width, and height. And then if they can, great. If not, fine. Jason said he was going to look into it and see what he could find for me. Worst case scenario, maybe a possible frame kit for one of the other printers that I can kind of hack the pieces up and make them work, because the numbers I gave him were 6 pieces at 395 for the width, so that's 395 this way. 4 pieces at 330, so 330 on the depth, so it would come out about another I think 20 or 30 mils this way. And then for the height, 4 of them at 450, so that one might be a little harder to get, but he's going to see what he can do in the space gray. He said if they have holes in them already, is that going to be a problem? I said no, we can work with that. So once the pieces, once he finds stuff, if he can, and he gets it sent to me, basically what I'm going to do is kind of rebuild this as a cube, and then we'll figure out the plate. Either, take this guy for instance here, pop the feet off of it, and then set this down roughly where I need it on the aluminum, so that I can mark out where each one of the holes goes, and then these two bigger holes, and then drill out all my holes. Or realistically, if the plate's still good and I can, we can always just, work something out there to make it work. We'll figure something out. So always worth getting the longest pieces and use your miter saw, or use a miter saw. Yes, Mitch, that is the hopes. You would like to see the A1 Mini on there, but I understand it would take more work. Well, realistically, Mitch, let's put it this way. If I can acquire enough funds through the channel to basically rebuy the parts that are here, the parts that are under here, I can leave this one as it is. Take those extrusion parts that I get, and if they're longer than I need, and then we can always put that guy on a second backpack, and then if nothing else, I can always just disconnect the actual backpack part from here and just move it over, and then have that one, and then if I want to take this one, move it over to here until I can afford to get another backpack rig. So that could also be an option. It'd just be a matter of disconnect a few screws, and realistically, if I do that, then what I can do is drill and tap the extrusion and run the screws directly into the extrusion. Make it a little easier than having to worry about transferring T-nuts and lining up T-nuts. If I have the holes right where they need to be, just drill it, tap it, and screw them right in. And then the spacers, the little adapters that you've got on here, leave them. We can, whatever we're going to take to affix them to it. Always worth getting the longest pieces. Yeah, and then might ask Sliceworks to see if he can provide the 2020 extrusions that were where you got your extrusions for the frame. Cool. Yeah, I can always. I reached out to Jason. We'll see what he does or what he says. I'm pretty sure that even with what I asked Jason for, if that's the case, I don't know that the A1 Mini would fit. It'd be cool. It would be cool. And what would be even cooler is if once I got that, if I ended up with an AMS light, because then I could just mount an AMS light right on top of the backpack and have the AMS light basically feed down and then into the kit for that. I really would have to see what kind of footprint that thing does have. Could even just see if I could reach out to Sliceworks and say, hey, I want to build another one of these. Do you guys have just even black extrusion? But it would be cool. It would be. You drilled the holes in the backpack frame so that you could. Oh yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I can get another one of these backpack, like the backpack like rigs, get another one of these, I would love to be the bed slinger guy. Since Mitch is not necessarily the bed slinger guy, and he's not going to be, he's going to be the upside down printer and Delta guy, because that's what he likes. That's the reason why I ended up with this, because this is not Mitch's wheelhouse. This is not the type of printer that he prefers. Be bold and put the AMS on a sombrero. Rock a sombrero around with the AMS on it. Or what if I just got like a hard hat mount for an AMS and just get like a chin strap and just strap it to my head and just mount the AMS and just walk around with Bowden tubes feeding down and into the backpack. That or get crazy and mount the AMS upside down underneath and then just keep kicking it with my feet as I'm walking around. Molly 2-pack frame is really nice. They're more comfortable than the one piece. Yeah, I am kind of noticing that the one that you've got on there, it seems pretty good. I don't know though. I haven't had a chance to wear it longer than about 10, 15 minutes around the house just showing it off. So, but my hope is, like I said, that um, some way somehow we will get the batteries and then a charger, because batteries and charger are important. So like I said, even if it's somebody sends the, what was it? It was $100 for, like, yeah, it's $100 for the 20 volt 5 amp hour battery and charger to start. So if somebody even just sent $100 plus a little extra for the tax would be greatly appreciated. But then I could at least get a single charger and a single battery for the $100. Or if again somebody had a little bit more, I could get the 2-pack of batteries for 85 bucks, and then the charger for 33, like 33, 40 bucks, so really 120 dollars, we'll say about 120 bucks should get me 2 batteries and a charger. Give me something to get started with, because the system does run off of one 20-volt battery, right, Mitch? I could, in theory, 20-volt battery, right? Reach out to Harbor Freight, maybe they'd sponsor you. Yeah, Mitch, that was another thought too, was I thought maybe if I just went to the Peru store and walked in with the printer, or with the printer in hand, and said, this is what I'm looking to do. This is what I need. Is this something you guys would be interested in sponsoring? I can get it, get them hooked up, plugged in, turned on. You guys could, take some pictures and post them up on your local, on like the local pages and stuff. And then they could, they could have that. And of course, if they wanted to get info from me, I would be like, the printer was originally built by a gentleman by the name of Mitch 3D, and point them to your website, and that you gave it to me and I'm in the process of rebuilding it and doing some other stuff with it. So the thought was, if I show up with it and the manager on duty is feeling generous, maybe they'd hook me up with, 4 batteries and a charger. Power adapters. Yeah, realistically, if I had, well, I have, and I did look to see if they would work. I have 24-volt max lithium ions. These are Rockwell, which is Works. So if I can find a Works adapter to go from Rockwell to Works, or Rockwell to Bauer, if I can find the adapters for that, if somebody wants to go look, if I can find them, I can print them, and then I just have to do a little bit of wiring to turn these into those, and then I can use these for now. So I take that back. I do have these. I keep getting hooked on the lack of adapter. But these are not very big. These are 2 amp hour. So together they're 4 amp hours, which would be enough to do a little bit. Dana's doing the resto mod on it. Yeah. As long as it is fused, the battery doesn't have some special protocol like Milwaukee. Yeah. Are the dumb battery packs better than the ones with the built-in logic? For stuff like this, Nick, probably it's easier to adapt it than the other ones. Just a thought. I could be wrong, and Mitch would know way better than I will. So good idea asking Mitch, because I may have just told you something completely wrong. Right now, I'm going to go look and see if there is a Works to Bauer battery adapter. Hey, somebody's selling them on eBay for $18. Let's see if there's an STL. No. STL. A power battery adapter. It needs to take in a Works battery and adapt to power. Dumb ones are better for what I'm doing because it's like having a S5 18650. You can add your own BMS and have more control. Yes, there we go. I was kind of right for what Mitch is doing and what we're doing. Yes. So there we go. Works battery for park side. Works adapter. Guess I could always just take a works battery and a power battery adapter and mash them together if I needed to. But yeah, because Rockwell is owned by Works, it's the same. Rockwell and Works have the same basic setup up here, so everything is the same. You can kind of see that you've got your positive is on the left, negative is on the right, and then you've got your BS and TV. You got your BS and TV in the middle. BS is on this side, TV's on that side, but those two are not connected to anything on the pack because it's just pulling battery power. So yeah. You recommend the low voltage cutoff relay because it's simpler to wire. The cells can stay balanced as long as you use the original chargers. Yeah, which currently I have that. So realistically, if I can find adapters, I'll have to do a little bit of wire and solder. Well, wire and solder, well, wire and crimping, whatever the case may be, to set these up. But then, boom, slides in here, adapter plugs in, slides in, and then that part slides into the pack. Or into the adapters on the side. Because I did look to see, I was like, is it close? And it's not even close. So, but yeah, so if I can find some adapters, so I'll have to do a little bit of digging. If anybody finds them before I do, feel free to link them either here or Discord or wherever the case may be. Big power battery adapters. Let's take a look. If anybody's good at that stuff and wants to set them up for me, greatly appreciate it. TV might be temperature and BS might be the output for the charger. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is it's probably a temp and then like BMS or battery sensor. You can check if it's outputting voltage. I could, but I'm not going to worry about it right now, Mitch, because realistically, wouldn't I only need a positive and a negative? Because that's all that's connected underneath, right? It's just positive and negative. All the BMS wires are not connected. However, I could go crazy and figure out how the power battery BMS works and get a BMS and wire it in, and then I realistically, when it's plugged into the wall, it could take that 24 volts and run that into charging the batteries if I got crazy, right? That would be a later project. That's right now the main project is either acquire batteries or find adapters. Harbor Freight power battery holder. I don't need a battery holder. I need a Works battery to power tool adapter. Yeah, there is nothing here in the way of, well, here's a Works, I already printed those. I got those, they're just Walmart. 20 volt supply for use with power batteries. Works adapter, that's not what I'm looking for either. Works battery to Bosch, Works battery to Power has a temp and ID, which I think is fixed resistor value. The tool is used to identify battery. Very well could be, sir. I do not know. I am not a battery expert by any means. that is what Mitch is for, and I will pick his brain on things when I cross those bridges. But for those who don't know, I got into some weeds over the weekend, doing some weed pulling and weeding around the house, and I'm itchy and it sucks, and that's part of the reason why I didn't go to work. The other part of the reason is because I'm a poor bitch and can't afford to go to work. It's bad when you have to say that, but it's the truth. Right now, I'm scoping through Yagi to see if I can find something that says works, WORX, or you can look up Rockwell, see if I can find an adapter to adapt to the power tools. Y'all be good, got to roll. All right, JPP, if you're going to stream, man, make sure to shout it out somewhere. That way I know. Shoot me a message in Discord, let me know so I can send it out to the world so they know that you'll be streaming, so they can pop on, watch, check it out, hang out, chat with you. But it is a pretty sweet idea, and I think I may even reach out and just call the local Harbor Freight and ask to speak with a manager and see if the on-duty manager would be interested in me bringing it to them to show them and see if it's something they'd be willing to, sponsor the batteries for, and then we could do some local stuff with them. That'd be pretty cool, I think. Be cool for them to put up on their thing that, Harbor Freight is proud to be sponsoring this crazy project built by this guy and, originally built by this guy and being modified by this guy. You'll be streaming the Podcron build either tonight or tomorrow on Twitch. Well, Mr. Mitch, depending on what time you stream, depends on if I'll be awake, and I'll be there if I'm awake. So, Mr. Mitch, you are a mod, so feel free to drop the link to your Twitch for anyone who might be watching or watches this later and might want to come check out the stream if they don't know who you are, which pretty much everybody here does. It's good to see Nick in here, by the way. By the way, Nick, hi, good to see you. Sorry I didn't say hi earlier. So I do apologize for that, Nick. My bad. Should belittle me on the internet for forgetting to say hi to you earlier. Panasonic battery adapter. Can build your own battery pack. But I am going to see if I can find a works to power battery adapter and maybe reach out to Harbor Freight and see what they say. They may be on board for it. It'd be pretty sweet if they are. No, Nick, you got to beat me up for that. Beat me up. Let the whole world know how mean I am. But yeah, let's see, we've been streaming for an hour and 40 minutes. So we'll get about another 20 minutes here. Then I'm going to wrap this up. Don't forget to check out Hot Makes tonight. They'll be live at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on Hot Makes YouTube channel. So youtube.com/@HotMakes. Chris Travis, good to see you, sir. Chris Travis, we got the low voltage cutoffs installed on here, and I was looking at another thing, and Mr. Mitch had mentioned maybe I should reach out to good old Harbor Freight. So I'm gonna maybe when I get off the phone, we'll call Harbor Freight and see if the managerial staff would be on board for sponsoring this. I'm just gonna call the local Harbor Freight. If they don't want to help, then I'll maybe send an email to the corporate office and see if maybe they want to send along the stuff I need. Maybe they'll send it to me, or maybe they'll, gift card or whatever, and I can go get what I need that way. But if you happen to know, or are you feeling funky enough, I do have currently Rockwell, which is works. These are only 2 amp hour. But I have the 24 volt ones. If I can get an adapter to adapt these to power batteries on the other side, so basically snap into works and then output to the power batteries, make some adapters. The 2 amp hour ones will be sufficient for a little bit of use. At least be able to get it up and running and test it. Can't hurt to try. Exactly. That's what I tell you guys all the time is when talking to companies about stuff, let them know your project, ask them if they want to help, and worst case scenario, they say no. So you gotta ask. You gotta start somewhere. So I think when I get off the phone or get done with the stream here in a little bit, we will hop over to make a phone call to the local Harbor Freight and see if a manager on duty is interested in seeing the project and maybe assisting with the project. And if they are, sweet, get me some batteries and a charger and get it up and running. Found out today, oh, dude, sorry to hear, man. Well, messed up. You know? Guys wheel around a car battery, yeah. Go nuts and just carry around a car battery with me. 12 volts, 9 amp hour. If I wire two of these bad boys together, I can get 24 volts out of them. Then I'll only get like 5 amp hour, but first to breathe and other stuff. Dude, I am very sorry to hear that. That sucks, man. But I don't even know. These things have been sitting in the boxes on the floor for a while, so I may have to throw a charge in them first. But these things are quite heavy, though. So that would add quite a bit of weight. So, Mighty Max batteries, 12 volts, 9 amp hour. I've got 4 of them on the floor here. Can make a little tray to go across the feet and just stack all 4 of them. Just run them together. Just run 12 volts at 9 amp hours. So it'd be what, 9... Going from 12 volts up to 24 volts, though, or 20 volts to at least get the system going would be easier to run 2 of them and then make it 24 volts on one side and 24 volts on the other and run one battery up to one and one battery up to the other. One battery, as in one set of batteries one way and one set of batteries the other. Because 12 volts into 12 volts out is 12 volts into 12 volts out, or 12 volts out to 12 volts in is like 24. Or positives, negatives, 12 volts, 18 amp hours. Get one of the marine batteries. Get one of them big ass marine batteries and hook up a big old set of jumper cables and run them from there up to the printer and put it in a wagon and just pull it behind me. I'll have to look and see if I have some wire. We can potentially make something happen with those if they're charged enough. Worst case, I know somewhere around here I have a charger. I can plug it into the wall and charge up both of those batteries. They're ML9-12s. Get them charged up and then run a little wire and some connectors and find the Bauer battery adapter and just hardwire them right into the adapter and just run them big ass batteries underneath it for a while. Yep. Could do that if I needed to. If you had a OG CR10, you always run them on 12 batteries. Yeah, or 12 volt batteries. Yeah. I have one 12 volt system now that I think about it. There's one printer that's a 12 volt. It's that Delta right there. So realistically, I could mount one of those batteries in there and, put a BMS and a cutoff on it so that this way if the power ever goes off, it just jumps right to that battery and runs off the battery till the power kicks back on. 9 amp hours would run it for a little bit. By a little bit, I mean a while. Longer than, a 5 amp hour battery would. So there's a thought. But yeah, if nothing else, I could look for an adapter for a uh, Bauer Tools adapter or Bauer 20 volt. Let's see this. Bauer 20 volt battery adapter. Let's see if we can find one. Parkside battery adapter. I need one that has the Bauer adapter on top. Adapter from a Kia 18 volt battery. For some reason, fits Bauer 20 volt battery to Hitachi. No, I need one that goes to. Give me a second. I'm gonna mute you guys for saying y'all. Okay, sorry, I had to go yell at the doggo. Let's see here. You might need to swap 24 volt fans and hot end heater if you want to go from 24 volts to 12 volts. Yeah. Instead of batteries, run solar power. Say wait. Yeah. I just take a solar panel and put it above my head, make a little frame that holds the solar panel above me the whole time. Might need beefier wiring too. Yeah. Well, this system runs on 24 volts, so this wouldn't be a problem. That one, I would just run one of the 12 volt batteries or run two of the 12 volt batteries, you know. Which one is that? Parallel, right? Yeah, run them in parallel. So series runs them into each other, parallel runs them next to each other. So realistically, if I run 12 volts into 12 volts, it'll be fine. Could strap a and can and a generator to. Now we're just going crazy, guys. Just walk around running a little generator. I just get one of those, get one of the little gas powered generators. Just plug it in and just basically set it up so that when I pick up the pack, I just lift the lid, it lifts the one end up in the wheels, and it'll just roll behind me. Better go diesel. Man, you two, I tell you, you two are just going crazy with this now. But yeah, I just need use with power battery. Here we go. 20 volt, but that's for the power batteries. I need one. I just need the part that slots into a Bauer tool. And then I can always take two of those batteries and just, like I said, take two of the batteries and just run them in series. And that give me 24 volts. And then I can just run that right into one of the plugs and then have two batteries at 24 volts at roughly half the amp hours, right? Because when you run them in series, you pretty much half your amp hours. Isn't that how that works? Mitch, if you're still floating around, isn't that how that works? When you run batteries in series, it like halves their amp hours. So if it's like in this case, they're 9 amp hour batteries, they'd really only be like 4.5 amp hour battery out of 24 volts. Something like that. Or is it still 9, but it would be 9 at 24 volts instead of 12 at 18? Here we go. 20, that's, yeah, that's not it. That's not what I need. I need one that goes, I might be looking at this wrong. Bauer to Ryobi. There we go. No, that goes to Ryobi. I need one that goes to Bauer. DeWalt to Bauer. There we go. DeWalt to Bauer. Let's see if that works. Let's see here. Bauer. Because I really only need it to connect to a Bauer tool. Milwaukee 18 volt to Harbor Freight Bauer. There we go. Because that I could modify. That's Bauer, and it'll slot in there, and then really I can just modify that to work with. Bit of work to make that work. If all I need though is, oh, it looks like off the ground I am going to need to kind of pop over from the ground with a little so you need a 10K resistor, quarter watt to half watt. There's no change through this solder wire epoxy. So basically I would still have to come off of the, on the Harbor Freight side, comes off of the first pin, second pin, third and fourth. I think 4 pins or 5 pins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 pins in there. So this is not looking like the same thing. Let's take a look at this thing. Let's spin this guy around. Okay. Yeah, because this one's got 5 on it. So I'm confused how that's supposed to go to Harbor Freight. That's Hercules. That's Harbor Freight. But it's the M18, not the 20. Yeah. So I'm a little confused on what I'm seeing here. Because that's showing 4 pins and it's 5 pins in there. So connect generator to a treadmill and make dam powered. Yeah. Now we could go crazy and run the motor on the generator back or on the treadmill backwards, and as I walk I generate power rather than use power. You can go crazy and do something like that, but I need it to go from to looking, trying to find. Yeah. Well, anyway, we're coming up on that 2-hour mark, so I don't know if anybody else is streaming right now. Let's go take a peek at YouTube real quick and see if there's anybody on YouTube that's streaming. Not like I can roll over to them because we'd have to both be a part of the same team for that to happen. I'm not seeing anybody else streaming right now, but again, like I said, 6 o'clock tonight. Hot Makes will be on. If you want to make life easy for me and you have some change jingling around, links down there. Help me get batteries. I'm going to call Harbor Freight as soon as we get off the stream here. I'm going to call Harbor Freight in Peru, explain what I'm doing, see if it's something that they're interested in helping me with, if there'd be something they'd be interested in sponsoring, and let them know I can bring it in and show them the current work and what I need, and see if it's something that they would be, you know, maybe my local Harbor Freight might be interested in checking out and being a part of. And if not, well, it doesn't hurt to email the corporate office in China and see what they say. Actually, I don't think Harbor Freight's corporate office is China, but I know that's where all the stuff comes from. So reach out to them and ask. And if they can help, great. And if not, well, it might take me a little while, but we'll get there. We will cross that bridge if we need to, some way, somehow. Not if we need to, when we need to, some way, somehow. So that's kind of the hope, is we'll make something happen. So some way, somehow, it will become a thing, and we'll make it happen. So, yep. But I guess that being said, guys, we're right up there at that mark. So I do thank you guys for coming and hanging out. You guys have a great day. The usual, stay out of trouble, stay out of jail, at 3D printing, and all those things, all the things. And yeah, tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central Standard, right back here. Either we'll be, if batteries are a thing, we'll be playing around with this on batteries, and if batteries are not a thing, well, then we'll be going back to swapping this tool head back out for the stock one and getting the stock one on there with the Micro Swiss dual gear extruder that goes on the side there. We'll get that stuff all figured out and get working back on that. So I thank you guys for coming and hanging out. Nick, no need to thank me because I'm an idiot and all I did was waste 2 hours of your day or however long you've been here. So I thank you for putting up with my silliness. That being said, guys, though, again, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And for those of you in the Hot Mates chat tonight, I'll see you in the chat on Hot Mates. Again, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time on the Hot Mates YouTube channel. Don't forget that, yeah, it'll be going on. And I do believe it was 3D printing that's on tonight. So, bye, guys. See you, bye.